Leviticus chapter 4 takes us deeper into the seriousness of sin. Not just deliberate rebellion, not just open defiance, but sin committed in ignorance, sin done without full awareness. And even then, God says, guilt is still real. That is a sobering truth, because we often think sin only matters when we meant it. We imagine that if we didn't know, if we didn't intend harm, if we didn't fully understand, then somehow the weight is lighter. But Leviticus 4 says otherwise. Holiness is not measured by our excuses. It is measured by God's standard. And in this chapter, the Lord lays out the sin offering for different people. For the anointed priest, for the whole congregation, for a leader, and for anyone among the common people. That means no one is exempt. Not the priest, not the leader, not the nation, not the individual. Sin touches everyone. And when sin is discovered, the response is not denial, not hiding, not pretending it didn't happen. The response is confession, sacrifice, and atonement. Blood is shed again. Because life is in the blood. Because sin cost life. Because guilt cannot simply be ignored away. When the anointed priest sins, the consequences are heavy, because leadership carries influence. When the whole congregation sins, the whole community is affected. When a ruler sins, the people feel it. When an ordinary person sins, heaven still notices. This chapter tears down the illusion that some sins are small and others are serious only because of who commits them. In God's eyes, sin is sin, and every sin must be dealt with. But this chapter is not only about judgment, it is also about mercy. Because God does not leave the guilty without a path back. He provides a sacrifice, a bull for the priest and the congregation, a male goat for a leader, a female goat or lamb for the common person. Different measures, yes, but the same principle. Atonement is required, and grace makes a way. And that is the beauty of Leviticus. Even in the middle of its severity, mercy is shining through. The offering is taken outside the camp in some cases. The blood is brought near the holy place. The fat is burned to the Lord. The remainder is handled carefully. Nothing about sin is treated casually. Because if God is holy, then sin is not a minor issue. It is a violation that reaches into the sanctuary itself. And that is why Leviticus 4 is so important. It teaches us that sin is not just personal, it is communal. It affects worship, it affects leadership, it affects the whole people of God. But it also teaches that God Himself has built a way for cleansing. This chapter points forward to Christ, who did not merely cover sin with the blood of animals, but took sin upon Himself. He became the true sin offering, not for sins only we remember, but for sins we never even realized were there. He atoned for the hidden, the overlooked, the unintentional, the forgotten, and the willful. That means the gospel reaches deeper than our conscience, deeper than our memory, deeper than our shame. So what do we do with Leviticus 4? We stop treating sin lightly. We stop excusing what God calls evil. We stop assuming ignorance makes us innocent. And we come honestly before the Lord, knowing that He is holy, but also knowing that He provides atonement. Because the same God who exposes sin is the God who makes a way for cleansing. Leviticus 4 says this plainly. You are not safe because you are unaware. You are not clean because you meant well. You need mercy. You need sacrifice. You need atonement. And praise God, He provides it. So come humble. Come honest. Come repentant. Because the sin offering declares that guilt is real, but mercy is greater still.